Okay, let's dive right into it. Project management is a huge topic with a lot of knowledge areas. And before we get into any of those, cost management and schedule management and risk management, before we start talking about any of this, we first need to understand what project management is. We need to begin all the way from a basic definition because we need to know what we're signing up for. So we start with a quote by Joy Gums. Operations keeps the lights on. Strategy provides a light at the end of the tunnel. But project management is the train engine that moves the organization forward. And I really like this quote because it highlights in particular the difference between projects and operations. And this is something that I really want to emphasize here, something that you really need to understand. Operations are the purpose of the business. It's why the business exists. It's the day-to-day work. We are monitoring the performance of our pumps. We are exporting reports. We are monitoring levels in all our tanks, pressures, flow. These are day-to-day tasks, day-to-day work. This is what's classified as operations. Projects, on the other hand, result in a deliverable. Project, just like the quote said, it's the train engine that moves the organization forward. They are limited in duration. They provide a deliverable at the end of the day. And it's really important to understand the difference here between projects and operations. Now, once we start diving a little deeper into project management, we're going to start learning a little bit about methodologies. And you might have heard different terms before. You may have heard about waterfall methodologies, or in this case, plan-driven, and agile methodologies. So waterfall and plan-driven are essentially the same thing, just different terminologies. But these are the two most commonly used types of methodologies in project management. Plan-driven is a very sequential methodology. It's a way of approaching projects in a very sequential manner. To give you an example, let's assume that we have a project to build a house. I need to first develop the foundation or create the foundation. Then I need to build within that the first floor and the second floor and the third and so on and so forth. This is very sequential. It's a very sequential way of doing things. I can't build the foundation and then immediately start building the second floor. Doesn't work. I need something in the middle. This is plan driven. And it's very suitable when you need a plan that will outline for you all your activities from the start. So from the very beginning, I need to know exactly what I'm doing from now up until the end of the project. That's a plan-driven approach. Sometimes you'll hear it called a waterfall approach because it's very sequential. Agile, which is a term you might be hearing a lot these days. There's a lot of buzz on agile, particularly in the tech industry, in software development. Everything runs on agile. And the difference here is that agile is very iterative. I do things in iterations. I do things in small chunks or sprints. And it's really, really suitable when I don't yet know the full scope of the project. I'm developing the scope as I go along. I'm working with the client to develop an app, let's say. We know we want to develop an app. We have a broad idea of what the app should do, what its purpose is. But then we start to break things into smaller chunks where we just do iterations of it. And we develop the scope as we go along. We keep repeating those iterations over and over again. So we've done a 3-week iteration or a 3-week sprint where we've developed the first function of the app. Then we test, then we present to the client, then we launch it. And we move into the next iteration and this next and the next. That is called an agile approach, and it's used a lot in the tech industry. So if you are looking to get more into software development, you're going to need to be very, very familiar with agile concepts. Agile is a huge, huge topic of project management. There's a lot of terms and a lot of different structures that go along with it. So for this course, we're going to talk about project management in general because there are core items that we need to understand. Whether in plan-driven or agile, there are core items that apply to both that we need to really understand. Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to stop it here and we'll see you on the next one.